Hello everyone, this is Garrett and this is Serious Sam 2. We are about to do level 34, Frostpost.
Lift, boy! Let's get out of here. I smell an ambush.
I never actually noticed that it actually says Serious Sam 2 on his shirt. Well, there you go.
Sam, you're freezing. Quickly, find a warm place.
We find more cold, and like Triska says, it's still cold, and we still have to find a cold place, warm place, to not be cold. And yeah, there's barrels of fire now. They're indestructible, which is nice. Otherwise, this would actually be a bit of a problem. And there's a bunch of stuff shooting at us already. Also, there is a giant spider. And whoever decided to put that guy here is a jerk, honestly. It's not a fun thing to fight with the weapons we really have available. Though we do have 30 cannonballs, so it shouldn't be too hard, but given the fact that it's very slippery and very easy to accidentally get hit by him, I'm just going to stand over here. And the more damage you deal to him, the more of these like ball enemies you're going to spawn. So you want to kill like as much as possible with the cannon right here. It's actually quite nice to have as many cannonballs as I have right now, otherwise this part does actually get quite tricky. And like she says, there is a rocket launcher in Hangar 15, which is exactly where we're going. Because the rocket launcher is actually rather good for the enemies we're fighting right now. Not so much for the enemies we'll be fighting later in the level, but for the enemies that we're fighting right now, it would have been nice to have one. So there you go. There's some points over there, I think. And we're just going to stand next to this barrel for a while. And we're going to go from hangar to hangar and get all the nice stuff that's available. And when we move in closer, gonna be a bunch of orcs. Gonna kill them all. There's more of these panels. These don't have moving things on it, which I guess just indicates that they can be destroyed. I don't know. That seems to be the logic here, at least. And when we move further into this building, that guy spawns, but a grenade launcher is pretty good against an enemy that never moves. And I don't know why, but he never does, which is very strange. So we're just gonna go over here and see what's inside here, because I've never actually looked in it. Apparently it has cannonballs in it. Never noticed that box until now, and then I was curious. And I'm just going to shoot a grenade in that direction, because there's some grenades in this thing anyway. Might as well. Also, there's that guy. Every now and then you'll find one of these big spiders. A lot of them are in the, like, destructible panels, but they can also just be in the box. They can be whatever the big spiders feel like being in at the time. So you want to be at least a little bit careful. I'm mostly just here for the bullets and the health, because it's very easy to take damage here. I find it actually quite difficult to avoid stuff in these levels due to the slippery slopeness of it all. But I'm just going to grab this rocket launcher. We have a lot of ammo for it still from the previous levels. Some serious firepower, which I feel like is something he says about every weapon in the game. Like, there doesn't really seem to be much variety when it comes to his one-liners in this game, but there you go. Let's destroy that panel. Has a spider in it. But let's just use the rocket launcher for everything else here as well, because it's a lot faster than you trying to use grenades. It's a lot faster than anything else, honestly. This weapon is very good at destroying a large quantity of boxes. Not really very, very good for anything else, but you know, it's alright for what we're using it for right now. And before we go into that furnace and also into the next area of the level, we destroy the secret container, another serious bomb, more health, sniper rifle, all sorts of cool stuff. And that brings us to the next area, where there's a bunch of orcs trying to get us to not go in this direction. I was going to shoot a rocket, but they decided to be up all in my face, which was rather annoying. And now we cannot actually go back again, so we can look at the serial number over here if you want, or we can just move on. Santa's walking over there, inexplicably. We can shoot him. And we find a secret Santa secret, which is always nice. Now these guys are pretty cool. If your frame rate's too high, these guys are incapable of moving, which is always nice. They just stand still and try to run, but due to the slippery effects that this level grants you, they just stand still and just do their moving animation the entire time. It's kind of adorable and kind of sad in a way, honestly, but It makes this area a little bit easier, due to the fact that it actually spawns a couple of those red dudes in a second if you kill these guys. If you don't kill these guys, those guys never actually spawn. But given that there's quite a lot of them and they're all running towards us, we do want to kill them because otherwise it's just a mess. A messy mess that we don't want to deal with. So we're just going to kill everything. Why not, right? That is pretty much the point of these games, and that is exactly what we're going to do. Once again, watch out for the planes, which are flying over every now and then, trying to hit us and failing miserably at doing so, and every now and then they'll be like 2 damage, because I don't even really know why they exist. They're not really very good at anything. And I'm just going to use the cannon to take care of these remaining footballers. I've been wanting to kill that plane for a while now, but every time I try, they just keep firing more of these guys. And rocket launcher's a little bit awkward to use against those guys, but it worked out in the end. I'm just going to wait here and destroy that thing when it comes over one more time. There we go. It's gone now. And there's a whole bunch of rockets over here. If you want some more, there's one in that box. There's a bunch over there. There's a bunch everywhere. Now that we got a rocket launcher, we are going to get a ridiculous amount of rockets, which, you know, it's not bad. Always nice to have. But we are not going to use them for a while, unless we want to destroy more boxes, which of course we want to do. Another box that says top secret, which, as you can probably imagine, has a secret area in it. They're very well hidden in this level. This level has 5 secrets, and the only way you'll not find them is if you just accidentally skip this hangar or something like that, because most of them are just really in view. And I'm just gonna ignore all of this. We got max health right now. But that container contains a whole bunch of bunnies. Ninja bunnies. They look pretty adorable. If I manage to keep one box alive, you could see that it has a weird hitbox. Like, if you move a box into these guys, it just sort of wiggles around weirdly. Like, boxes do not go in here. But you can also destroy the bunnies if you are a heartless creature like that. And it contains a whole bunch of very low ammo, health and armor power-ups, which is alright. I guess, you know, it's secret. It's better than nothing, I suppose. Not really sure if it's worth killing the bunnies over, but what are you gonna do? So I'm just gonna go over here. Makes a checkpoint. It spawned something. I'm not actually sure what it spawns, but it spawns something. It might spawn that turret, actually. I guess that's probably it. I don't know what else it would spawn. And those guys spawn in there. It kind of... That guy always goes through the wall here. Which is odd. I'm not really sure why he goes through the wall every single time, but he does. And I'm not going to question it. It's just one of those things that happens in this game. He just flies through the wall and tries to defend the bomb, I guess. And indeed, we're going to be careful because there's going to be more red dudes flying from the sky. But there's also going to be a barrel over here, and we want to be warm at all times. So we're just going to fight everything over here. There's a helicopter to the left of us, and it's dumb. It rarely fires. This is actually one of the few times I've ever seen it fire at all. And it's honestly quite a surprise. Usually that thing just sort of flies back and forth forever. And that's just all it does. And I don't know what's up with that, but not going to question it. It's just Serious Sam 2 with its wonderful AI. And the further we go in here, it's going to spawn one more of these because why not? We've not seen enough of these in the game. And they never really accomplish anything, and this is no exception. But we move further, and it's going to spawn that red dude, which is a problem. And it's going to spawn some turrets, which is also kind of a problem because it means we have to keep moving forward. And it's kind of scary, but fortunately, there's nothing actually really dangerous. So there is really no downside to just keeping up with the moving forwardness. And arguably this part would be a lot easier if you could just jump anywhere, but there's invisible walls literally everywhere in this place. Anywhere where there's a staircase, pretty much, there's going to be invisible walls just covering it. And it's a shame, because it would make this a lot more fun otherwise. But whatever. We're getting the secret items, and this series damage is fantastic. It's just about the equivalent of getting a vehicle with the reduced downside of actually having to steer a vehicle. Like, I quite like not having a vehicle but having serious damage, just because I guess I just prefer being able to switch between weapons, even though it's unlikely that we'll actually switch out of the minigun, but I like the idea that I have the option to switch between weapons and still be able to do a ridiculous amount of damage. And I guess that's what serious damage is basically for. And in a second, it's gonna spawn a bunch of those red dudes, which is why I've not been going into this building, because I'm never really sure when it's gonna spawn them. And now that it's spawned those guys, I'm gonna go inside here and warm up again. I'm actually just gonna fight a bunch of enemies from here, which is a pretty valid strategy. I'm hoping I can kill these airships before my serious damage runs out. I came pretty close. That one's nearly dead. And I'm not actually sure if you have to kill these guys, but they make a really annoying noise with their laser guns the entire time, and while they're not very effective, they are annoying me, so that's a pretty good enough reason for me to destroy all of them. And now we just sort of sit here and destroy spiders. We do actually have to kill all the enemies before we can move on to the next area. And there was a surprisingly low amount of enemies actually left, so that's fair enough, I suppose. Just gonna destroy these things. I think there's a spider in one of these somewhere. Yeah, there it is. And that's always scary. I think there's a couple ammo power-ups in that thing as well, but our ammo is pretty decent right now, so I'm not really worrying about that. And the moment we get close to this, it's gonna spawn 2 of those guys and 2 turrets next to them as well. The last remaining enemies of the Frostpost. And that is that. Now we just move to the door and finish the level.
5 minutes should be enough. Here we go. Hey! Wait! Damn!
And that was an animation of Sam sliding down a snowfield. And that also concludes this level, and I believe that's actually the last instance of the "it's cold so you have to be somewhere warm" bar thing, which is nice because it doesn't really add anything. If it would instantly kill you, it would be kind of scary, but usually you just have so much time to get to any of these places that there's no real danger. It's just a bar, and it just makes you stand still in certain places for a while. And it does add a couple of extra monster triggers, but in the end it's just but whatever. That was the end of this level, and that was the end of this video, so I hope you enjoyed it so far. And the next time we play, we are going to do level 35, I think, and that one's called Hugo. I actually remembered that one, and I hope to see you there. Bye-bye.